Alright, so we're doing a Blender tutorial. I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a mesh. It's gonna be real simple, I promise. Or I wouldn't be making the video. But it's gonna be simple. I'm doing I guess you could say a commission for someone right now. I'm making Nobara's hammer. So you guys are gonna watch me do that. And basically I will guide the way through Blender, yeah. Okie dokie, so first you're automatically going to start out with a cube when you get Blender. I have the Linux version of Blender. I think my version's 5.0, I believe. So yeah, you guys are going to get Blender, you guys will have that, you'll load in, and you'll be exactly where I am with your block. Now I'm currently going to make the handle for the tool. The first thing I suggest doing when getting a block is I suggest you hold Z and then you drag down to material preview and click. This will let you color it by going to this red thing down here, material, and this won't actually translate into the game yet, but it helps you get a rough idea of what you need. So if I go on to Google real quick and I'm gonna search up Nobara's toy hammer. I don't think you guys can see this, but I got one. So it's gonna be JJS. I could do a circle, or I could do it realistic. Now I think the person wants it JJS, so what we're gonna do is okay. So we'll do a square handle. Do it about that long. We can always size it up and down in JJS. So size never really matters, especially when you upload the file into Roblox Studio. Studio will already convert it to be as small as it can be. So that part doesn't really matter. So then you can grab blocks. What I like to do is, because I'm so used to playing, like I used to do stuff in Studio all the time. It's just Control C, Control V. You clone the block, and her hammer is yellow in the middle. So we'll drag this up, drag it sideways. Then we'll clone it again. Make a bigger square. That goes out. Honestly, nah. If you want to know the hotkey to delete, it is just X. X will just delete. It'll give you like a warning before you do it though, so like you won't lose anything. And then we'll drag two shapes over. Well, one. We'll drag it like that. Put it up against this. I think my cat's outside my room. And we'll make this red actually before changing anything, because that's the color of her hammer. Yep. So now another thing you can also do, which I suggest doing 90% of the time, if not all the time, is going to a website, like a color picking website, and grabbing the actual color code of the said object off there. It'll save you time. It'll make your build look really authentic, because it'll actually give it that color shading from the show, and which will help your thing look great. So like right now I just got like a rough estimate of the color, but what I can do is I can just go find an image of it from the show. Found one. Actually they could better, and save it, and then go to like a color picking website. Color pick from image, and then you'll find like 3. You'll just put it in. It's very quick, and then some websites are really sketchy. I thought I ought to point that out. Some websites are very sketchy and are not trustworthy, and so I do not condone going to those websites. I just be safe, because some of them are annoying and have pop-ups. So if you've had a PC for a while and you know how to deal with them, go right ahead. But for the most part, they are annoying to deal with. So I copied both codes. Now what I could do is I literally could just clone her hammer like this and call it a day. But as you can see, that looks sloppy. But there are things we could do to make this build look better, which I'll show you a few. So we could call this, we could potentially just sit here and call this a day. I mean, yes, it does look like a hammer, but it is very bad, especially really bad. But I'm also on a laptop recording this, so you're probably not gonna see me at my best, not today at least, but I will try my best for the sake of this video. So even that is pretty good, but her toy has ridges in it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this thinner, pull it back. We can actually delete all of that for now. Come out, then we will go in by, so if you grab this white ring right here, if you grab this white ring and you drag it in, it'll size down the whole thing equally from all four corners. But if you drag it from here, it'll do it from one side. So it's just if you want to shrink something really, really quick and easy, that you could do that. Alright, then we could do this. I think we could do that like maybe a couple of times for some good results. See, and then now you have that as the effect, which looks great. So, and then you would just clone that. Make sure it's even. You can get it really even, but honestly, it's like this is even to me. And I have like OCD, so I usually don't finish anything till it's perfect. But yeah, this is it. I'd probably just extend the yellow a little bit. Looking at the image, the middle is actually the same length of the sides. So what I would just do is an easy fix is just grow it like that, and boom. Now if I think the sides are too big, I can grab them, move them in, move them down, delete this one, and then just reclone this one back to the other side. So now it works as like a it's just a perfect mirror. Now if your side, so like for instance, I'll just teach this real quick, I don't think I'll need it though. If you have let's just say you have a feature on your like whatever it is, sword, weapon, shikigami, anything like that, you can, let's just say it's on one side, right? And so now if I cloned this and grab it and I clone it to this side and I try to put it here, now that's not sticking on this side. You right click, come down to mirror, and mirror X, and now it's flipped perfectly. Sometimes you might have to flip it Y or Z, it depends on the way it's facing. If it's facing up or down, it varies, but that is the easiest way to do that as far as I know, because I'm also very new to Blender. I'm just good at modeling, but there's still stuff for me to learn. Now there's another technique too, say like this. If I wanted to give the toy, since a toy it squeaks, I could give it more depth by shrinking it from all four sides like that. Is there a siren outside my house? Jesus. Alright, and then now it looks like that. It's more like curved, like a ramp as going down. Now another thing I could do with this whole thing is I could try to go for like a semi-realistic. So how I would do that is I would get rid of that circle to begin with. I would go up here, add, mesh, a cylinder, drag the cylinder over, size it down, make a handle here, over, color, take this brick, clone it here, make sure it's even, it's pretty good, boom, widen it, we clone this circle up, we press N, we gotta see which one's the rotation again, it's Y, so we'll rotate it by 90 degrees. Knowing your like angles and stuff does help with Blender and Skill Builder, in all honesty, because knowing like which directions to turn something can change a lot about your builds or your design. I could grab this, copy, paste. Bam. And you could mess with this more. Like I said, rushed, very rushed. But that's how I would do it semi-realistic. But if we wanted to, you could even, the thing is, like, because people think you go for realistic, that's where it stops. But you could also make things semi-realistic by using a very cool tool that I love, known as bevel. You press tab to go into edit mode, and you'll come down to bevel. And when you drag this thing to the left, the more you drag it, the smoother an object will get. On the ridges, you go too thin, it'll start breaking. And also, Studio can only handle a certain amount of polygons, but there are like several fixes to this. But yeah, whenever you add too many triangles, I think the limit's like 10,000 or 20,000. But there's a tool to like, there's a tool that makes it get rid of some triangles, and you can find like the perfect sweet spot for like your builds. It's like this middle part honestly doesn't even have to be. You can actually save on room by not giving it that, and just do it for the parts that'll be visible to like the naked eye. Control Z is undo, by the way. I probably should have explained that way earlier in the video. But yeah, Control Z is how to undo. And then we can do it here as well. That looks great. And then what we do is we grab this, clone it, grab that, delete, grab this, and then use the mirror we saw from earlier. Boom. Slide it on like that. Looks really good actually. Just it's the thing is with modeling is to not give up, because one slight thing can change the appearance of the entire thing. And I mean it when I say that, because there is a lot of builds like Hanami and Jogo that looked really bad at first, and I changed just a slight, whether it be like an eyebrow or something very simple, or like just could even be crossed off as like just an error. But they were so like tiny errors that they could have even just been like, they could have just stayed with how like minute they were. But as soon as having friends is great for suggestions. Like the suggestions I get from you guys are great. But yeah, honestly, I might give them this version because I like the way it turned out. And now we can texture it, which I know is like the part that people have the most trouble with. Which, yeah, I will show you how to texture. Just looking for any flaws. That's like an important thing to do. But I'll show you real quick. You see, if you start to go too far with beveling, it can be bad. So you can just undo it to before you made the mistake, and it's back to normal. What I also like, another thing I could do is just add more stuff to it, but I think it is fine the way it is. It probably isn't 100% JJS style with quotation marks, but that's why I always make multiple versions to please both parties, that whatever they want. So I would have this version and this version, one that is primarily blocky, fully blocky, half detailed, semi-detailed, whatever you want to call it. I would even bring this one over and delete this and this, and I'll show it to the person, see if they like it, and if they don't, I delete it. I delete the whole thing. I get rid of it and I cast it off. I delete the whole goddamn thing. Boom, now we have 3 versions of No Bars Hammer. There is also, if you add, this is very helpful because if you're on PC, I know swapping tabs sucks. But if you go here, you go to image, you go to add a reference, and let's see if it's just called. But it's not the right image, but as you can see here, you can add in a reference image from like your computer. It's also good to name your images and stuff, because when you go to select images or stuff in this game, or like in Blender, it's always gonna ask you to for the image name when it goes into your folder. So it's good to name your images on your PC first, because if not, you'll lose them, or you'll have to get another download of them, and that is just a load of work, unneeded work at that. Yeah, I think this looks good. I might just drag it up more. So now it's aligned with here, and it looks good. Yeah, it looks even like a squeaky toy too, because it's plastic texture. So now we will get on to the texturing of said model. So this is how I texture my models personally, is I'll get the color picker, like I said before, color pick, and so this object / shape has two colors to it. It has red and yellow, which is simpler than most. I know some might have more colors, but go to image properties. I made my 3000 by 3000, gives you the most room, or not the most room, but enough. You'll use the color picker app to get the color code of it. You make it as big as possible, and you'll just make a line like this. And I know this will make sense in a second, but you'll basically just get all the colors into one spot. This goes for decals, faces. You would just import them into Paint or another app if you have one. I know 2 other mesh makers I know use like different stuff. But then you get like this yellow right here. You grab that, and we'll come up here, get that, drag that there, and over. And now we have both the yellow and the red for the hammer. And then as long as we know 100% there's nothing else on the hammer, we'll be fine. So yep, that is all that is on this hammer. And what I would do now is I would save this as it is. It's fine if there's white at the bottom. Save as PNG. Name it Nobara color palette. Just maybe name it something you'll remember. Alright, and then after you're done doing your texture, you're going to want to come back to Blender. I fixed some stuff with the hammer, added a little more detail in areas to make it more accurate. What you'll do is you'll come up, this follow along, alright? Alright, snap fingers, you're going to follow along, right? You're going to come over to UV editing, image, open, and you're going to search for your Nobara color. Oh, I have it in documents, hold on. Color palette, and boom, Nobara color palette. So you'll have it right here. These are indeed your colors. Now it's gonna reset your color thing. Just hold Z and go back to that, to your like base color. And what you're gonna do is we're just gonna model this one because I think it looks the best for now, for the sake of the video. You're gonna come over to your color thing, and you're going to click this yellow dot and apply image texture. It's gonna make it black, but don't worry. Do this for every single object on your whatever your thing is. Now this can be really tedious or it can be really easy. If you have a simple thing that uses less shapes, you'll be fine. And yes, I did look for a way. No, you cannot group them all up and apply an image texture at the same time. I've already tried, and it works. It does it, right? So it does work, but as soon as you import it back into Roblox, your entire mesh will be inside out. Because when you combine a bunch of objects together, it applies their hitbox, like their radius, to every single thing. I don't know what the term is called. I don't know why it does it, but you have to do it this way. As far as I know, if someone else finds a fix, please let me know. But I've done some quote-unquote extensive research, and I have not been able to find a way around it, which is so freaking annoying. So you're gonna want to select all these. You'll have them. So the handle will come down here, and we'll select Nobara color palette, and we'll do this for every object that is yellow, which we know is only these 3. Now this part you can select them all by doing Shift click. You'll click all 3 of them. They're all highlighted orange. You'll come over to this tab. You'll press Tab, the button tab. You'll click A to select all, and shrink them down by holding S. You don't have to hold it, just click it. S is to shrink, G is to drag. It says it at the bottom when you hold it. So S to shrink, G to drag, R to rotate. and you're going to want to come over here, shrink it down, and now when you click tab and click the background, it'll all be yellow. Oh, we missed one. But it's as simple as that. It takes a really tedious amount of time for objects like, you know, the smallpox deity has like 1,000 dots on it. Those things is very hard, but since we're making a simple hammer, there's less than like 16 parts in this whole thing. So normally this would take me like 10-15 minutes to do. This is also like the normal size for like a shikigami, like a dagon fish or something. It is roughly the same. But yeah, we'll apply all the texture. It'll look ugly at first because it's applying the whole image, which is why it's going to unwrap the image onto the object. And then you'll come here, put it on, and boom. Y'all have your hammer. You go doom, doom, bam. And y'all grab. You can also control Z with that if you don't select everything perfectly. And boom, color red. Now, I know like some of you, if you make like something with a face on it, what you'll have to do, right, is like this area I left down here that's empty. If this was like something that had a face, what I would have to do is I would have to just have a screenshot or a transparent background of the face with the color I want the face to be, put it down here, and then this is your block unfolded. That's why it's a cross, it's a cube. You would just bring it down here and you'd put just the square you want over that. This also goes with zooming it out farther. When you zoom it out farther, textures get smaller or bigger, depends on your model. You can grab this, you'll grab this. I think the rest of them are fine. Yep, and you'll grab these and put them in red. Whoop. And we'll press tab to get out of edit mode, and hammer is done. What you can do is to select it, and as long as you see that all the crosses are in their selection, if it's default and hasn't been selected, it's big. But as long as you don't see anything weird on the outside, what you could do is you could save it and then upload it into Studio, like Roblox Studio, as like a test example to see if anything is bad. Because if it's not textured, it'll just look like really weird, messy glitches. So now that you're done, now comes teaching you how to export it, which is the easiest part. So what you want to do? What? Huh? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna select this whole thing, go up to File, Export as FBX. Very important. You click this one. When you get to this screen, you're gonna click the top right, Limit to Selected Objects. That'll be only the thing you select. If there's like other things in the base plate with you, it'll also upload those as well. You just want this part specifically. Scale, I recommend putting this at like 0.5 so it's not freaking massive when you put it into Roblox. And that's it, and you'll give it a name. So no bar hammer, and I'll put in the beginning 01, and we'll export. Then it will be done. Then you'll head over to Roblox Studio. Okay, so Roblox Studio, don't mind my studio, it's so messy. Just don't even mind it. It is so messy. It is so messy. I use these for like skill builder stuff. But yeah, it's also another tip. If you want to like use like meshes, these are also meshes. These are all included as meshes. You click on them, make sure you have the properties tab open. But yeah, these are all count as meshes. Use them for skill builder. They're so useful, especially like these little ones here. They're very good for like explosions and like domain shatters. These are good for like M1s, kicks, and such. But y'all didn't come here for that. You don't care about that. Over to you could click up here on this plus sign and make your own thing, but I think it's in model, and it is okay. Just click the plus sign, name it like mesh, like I did over here, and you'll go to add tool, search tool, and put asset manager. You'll see it right here. Click it. It'll add it here. You can click X, go over to asset manager to open up this. You open up your folders. I like to put I didn't mention this, but when you save it, you can save it to which place you want it to be saved in. I like to save my meshes to documents because nothing of mine goes in documents. So these are all my meshes, obviously. And we're gonna just look for no bar a hammer, which should be here. Yeah, right here. And you'll import it as single mesh. Rescale if too large is up to you, but that's if it's like got multiple sections to it, like a hookworm. Because like it kept sizing them differently, and once it imports it into Roblox, it's the size it is permanently. So once it's done, it turns green. You can click out of that only when it turns green, and you'll press insert with location, and here we go. And it'll apply its own texture in a few seconds. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, you don't even have to apply the texture; it's already baked onto it, pretty much. And we can see it in game. We look for any errors, any clipping. Nope. Look under here. Nope. And all is good and such and such. Huh? I thought it was okay. It's just shadow. So when you click it, you'll get your texture ID, which is right here, and you'll get your mesh ID, which is right here, and then you're able to import it into JJS, which you guys already know how to do. But yeah, if you guys would like to see more of this, like a series, maybe even, we can. I can honestly do that. I'd be fine with that. I'm not a great talk host or a talk shows person. I am terrible at it, as you can see by demonstration of this video. So that will be I will start working on those next, promise. I also will make some Dagon piranhas or like sharks and stuff to make up for it. I'll make them more JJS than the last piranhas, because this was my first ever mesh. You have to remember that I didn't know anything I knew now when I made this guy. This guy is the worst thing I ever produced. Look at those teeth. They're inside out paper. You ever seen something like that before? I haven't. And then look at his fins. Uneven. They're awful. I hate them. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Subscribe to me, to the orb, so I can fix my PC, because if I don't, I'm gonna cry. And you guys wouldn't want me to cry, right? So we'll pick back up on this later. I hope you guys liked the tutorial. I would say I put a lot of work into it, but honestly, this is probably it's probably like my 5th try trying to make this video, because of how bad this laptop is. I'm surprised it's even ran for as long as this outro has. So you guys have a good day, and see you guys on the next one.